And now it's time for the 2025 Knocker Awards. First, two guys that absolutely need an introduction because no one knows who they are. Please welcome JC and Nestlemania.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for everybody's favorite award of the year. That's right, we are doing it right now, folks. It's time for the 2025 Knocker Awards.
Big ol' awards here to give out, Nestlemania. We got mucho categories, as always, and we're going to break them down, Nestlemania, and we're going to give a set to the most deserving things of the year. 6-7, little 6-7.
Is that still a thing?
We're giving out 6 or 7 knockers. Is that what you're saying?
Sorry. My kids do it all the time. I don't know. Anyway, as always, we have the beautiful Michael Downing lending his golden pipes to the occasion. Michael, it's now time for our very first category.
Super hot fire moment of the year. Tiffany Stratton cashes in her Money in the Bank on first SmackDown of the year. Jey Uso winning the Royal Rumble. John Cena turning heel on Cody at Chamber and siding with The Rock. Dom Mysterio wins the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania.
Pew, 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 pew. Super hot fire! This is a great category to start with, Nestlemania, because always we start in the shine on these programs, as you know. And Michael just read off 4 very deserving moments of 2025 by Nestlemania. I'm looking at these 4 moments, and I'm thinking, Tiffany Stratton, cool moment. I'm thinking Jey Uso, yeet, cool moment. Yeet that shit out of my rankings. Dom Mysterio, that's my boy. I love WrestleMania. Get out of here, Nestlemania. The moment of the year for me is pretty fucking simple. We've been waiting for 20-something fucking years. That's John Cena turning heel on Cody Rhodes at Elimination Chamber and siding with the motherfucking Rock, who we then never saw again. But to me, this is a runaway. This is easy. This is a home run. This is a grand slam. This is an ace. This is a touchdown. This is a fucking golden knocker for John Cena turning heel on Cody motherfucking Rhodes.
Wow, that was pretty quick. I didn't expect you to go that quickly. As you sip from your very adult beverage, hopefully it's one of many tonight, because the longer this goes, the longer you're going to need more drink.
It could get ugly here by the end.
That's true. So Jobber of the Year might be sloshed by then. Anyway, that's okay. So for me, I'm looking at it. Tiffany Stratton cashing in, big moment for her, had a long reign. Not for me. Jey Uso, you and I have been very critical over the last year of Jey Uso. Yeet. And then, of course, John Cena turning heel, big fucking moment. Probably the biggest moment of the year, perhaps. However, I am toying with the idea in my head. Dom Mysterio winning the Intercontinental title to me was a very big moment. I mean, he ran in and he stole it, and then he had to celebrate and he ran back in. But then I'm thinking about what Dom did for the title, what it did for Dom, what confidence it brought him, what best matches he had. He didn't let me down all year. John Cena let me down a little bit. So I know. I'm probably leading into it. I need to focus on the moment,
Nestlemania. That's why Tiffany's on here, even though her fucking title reign sucked and we hated it. But at that time, it was really fucking cool. What happened after?
When you said the moment, now I understand it. So I will also be giving out a golden knocker to John Cena. So a set of golden knockers goes to the one and only John Cena. Michael, hit us with another category, won't you please?
Best story. MJF joining the Hurt Syndicate. Hangman's rise to win the title. Mariah May and Toni Storm ending. Naomi, Jade Cargill, and Bianca Belair drama.
Best story. Sometimes you just want to crack open a book and read it from, page to page, and it's a good page turner. Sometimes you're watching something on television. It's a great story. You got to watch the next one. You can't just wait. You got to binge it. Wrestling this year? Don't know about the stories. JC, what do you have to say about that?
Oh, hey, didn't see you there. You know what, Nestlemania? Not the best year of stories for wrestling, if we're being honest, but I'm looking at these nominees that Michael just so eloquently read, and, there's kind of 2 that I'm down to, but I'm curious your take.
Well, honestly, MJF and the Hurt Syndicate, I thought that was a lot of fun, but it was kind of cut short. I wanted to see more, of course. Hangman's rise to the title, I thought was really interesting, considering it seemed like they were positioning Darby Allin to dethrone Jon Moxley, but they didn't. They went with the hanger, which again, the passion, the story, the whole kit and caboodle, I loved it.
Throw it out. Get out of here.
Mariah May, her story ending, basically dying in wrestling against Toni Storm. It was the Hollywood death, which was fantastic. And I loved everything. To me, that's the best story that's ever happened in AEW. That's to me.
Agreed.
And of course, Naomi, Jade Cargill, and Bianca Belair, that triangle, that whole thing that went from last year to this year, it was multi-layered. It ended, of course, with Jade and Naomi having that crazy match at Evolution. And then, of course, at the end of the night, Naomi cashing in her Money in the Bank. Just phenomenal all the way through. To me, it's a 2-horse race for me. I can't believe I'm saying this. For me, it's between Mariah May and Toni Storm and Hangman Adam Page. I'm going to go give it to a person that I share a first name with. I am giving it to Hangman Adam Page's rise to the championship because in my opinion, I thought that was some of his best work getting to the championship. I think listening to the crowd in that moment when the briefcase opened and you saw how it felt, that visceral reaction from the crowd at All In, and it was one of the biggest crowds in history. I just think it's a culmination of the story. It was a great arc. And honestly, I think it was a better story overall than anything else this year.
First off, I just realized there's 3 AEW stories here and only 1 WWE. But the one you just named is fucking last place for me because it should have been Darby or Will. Fuck Hangman, that fucking cowboy little bebop bitch. Get the fuck out of here. That's number 4. Are you kidding me? That's what you're giving it to? Absolute trash. To me, it came down to, you know what? Fuck it. I'm giving it to MJF, Jordynne, the Hurt Syndicate because that story was a fucking blast. You got the thumbs, not like Josh Hart sticking it in Jalen Brunson's bum. They went down, they went up. And yeah, you know, it never really got to where it needed to be, but the ride was fun. That was the last time I actually enjoyed watching AEW week to week was this storyline. And coincidentally, when this storyline was just let go, that's when I coincidentally stopped watching that garbage fucking product. But it's crazy, Nestlemania. I'm looking at this. I'd give second place to the little love triangle there with the big 3 or whatever the fuck they call themselves. But this one's easy. I'm looking at the awards and I'm thinking, Hangman, trash. And I see MJF and the Hurt Syndicate. We hurt people. We hurt people. Easy winner. You fucking can't read. You're illiterate. I'm the one who has the book, not you. I fucking win. Best story. Golden knocker. MJF and the Hurt Syndicate. Michael, let's move on before he can retort.
Rivalry of the year. Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria. Blake Monroe and Jordynne Grace. CM Punk and Seth Rollins. John Cena and Cody Rhodes.
Some would call you and I a rivalry, but here's the thing about a rivalry. I fucking dominate. So it's kind of like you're just the little brother. It ain't no fucking rivalry. When we're talking rivalries, we're talking about what Michael just named. In Nestlemania, we had some good ones this year. All in WWE this year. And you know what? This is a tough one because obviously on the main roster in the men's division, Cena and Cody, it was kind of, we obviously had the pillar points with that. Cena wins it at Mania, obviously the turn at Chamber, and then Cody wins it back later in the year to pay that off. And Punk and Rollins, those guys just seem connected for the entire year back and forth. With eventually now Punk's the champion ending the year and Seth's out with injury, which kind of is crazy, which means that at some point this will probably renew. But to me, Nestlemania, those 2 aren't my top 2. I'm going to the women's division for my top 2 because there were 2 rivalries this year that I thought were a lot of fun. Becky and Lyra for that IC title. Made that mid-card title feel very important. They have great chemistry. Obviously, we got a little taste of this in NXT as well. A little Irish connection between these 2. I loved everything they did. I thought it's some of Becky's best work in a long time. And I think it kind of really elevated Lyra to really getting the crowd behind her, which is what we wanted. And then Nestlemania, the newcomer, Blake Monroe, and the other newcomer, Jordynne Grace, her little muscle muffin. This was so fun. This wasn't a very long storyline with them being friends and then Blake turning on her, but I don't know. This one, I felt this one. I think it says something about a rivalry where in such a short time, you can make me buy in and care. And I really cared about the storyline. So to me, those are my final two. I'm curious your take.
You're not down. You're not telling me what you're going to pick. All right, that's fine.
Nope.
That's fine. All right, I'm going to tell you right now. Becky and Lyra, great rivalry. As you stated, everything I agree with. My thing is that the person needs to look better coming out of it than they did coming into it, which did happen. Unfortunately, Lyra didn't do much after that. Right now, she's kind of been, in my opinion, she's kind of just stuck. But Becky did a great job with it as well. Blake Monroe and Jordynne Grace, I'd give number 4 because I feel like it didn't reach the masses in my opinion.
NXT racist.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying this one didn't work. I'm just thinking Seth and CM Punk are tethered together. So that's when you think rivals, you will think this. John Cena and Cody Rhodes, I think, are tethered for a specific reason. However, I would put this at number 3 because as much as I love hustle, loyalty, and respect, and of course your favorite American Nightmare, I don't think past SummerSlam they really did much. So I don't see them as rivals because it wasn't a continuing thing all the time. I'm thinking it's either CM Punk and Seth Rollins or Becky Lynch and Lyra. And I'm going to tell you right now, when it's all said and done, we will always remember CM Punk and Seth Rollins on January at the beginning of NXT, on Netflix on Raw. They did everything they could in between all that stuff to hate each other all the way to wrestle. Well, let's think about this for a second. Elimination Chamber, he stomped his ass. Then they went to WrestleMania. He got his main event. Then it kept going and going and going. And I just can't believe all the hatred. And then CM Punk beats Gunther at SummerSlam, only to have, of course, Seth Rollins cash in on him, then chasing the belt after Seth, and then Seth gets injured. CM Punk is the one that takes the title away and the spot away. So for me, from January all the way to about October, November, guess what, folks? It was Seth Rollins and CM Punk, and those guys are going to be rivals forever. That's my pick. That's my golden knocker.
You know who else is going to be rivals forever, and which is a much more clean, more fun one? Becky and Lyra. Give me the Irish gals for my knocker, Nestlemania. It's an easy one. Come on. It's some of Becky's best work. Lyra's a stud. You talk about being connected forever. They're going to be connected forever because it's the protege and it's the master. And you know what? It was good shit. And there was so much of the Punk-Seth rivalry where I was just like, that's why it's third. Get that shit out of here. Give me Becky and Lyra.
I'll just say this much. Becky hated her SummerSlam match against Lyra, so that was a wet fart.
Don't
wet
care about
fart
that. I
alert.
bet you CM Punk hates all his matches because he's fucking old, bro.
I think that Seth Rollins match was pretty good at Raw. I think the WrestleMania match is pretty fucking good. I think a lot of the matches he's had with Gunther were pretty good. I mean, there's a lot of things.
What does Gunther have to do with this? Is it about CM Punk and Seth Rollins?
I'm just saying he's had a lot of good matches.
Yeah, find me a bad Gunther match.
That's fair.
Michael, what's up?
Male Superstar of the Year, Adam Hangman Page. Cody Rhodes. CM Punk. Oba Femi.
American males, American males, American males, American males, American males. We have the Male Superstar of the Year. You have no idea what I just said. American males, American males, American males. You don't know a lot about wrestling then. It's a great tag team song. You should go listen to it. Anyway, we have the Male Superstar of the Year. And I cannot be more excited about this. We've got 4 studs in the stable on this one. And this one's actually pretty hard. I think you can make a case for all 4. Don't get hot at me. I'm just saying there's 4 here that I think you could probably name a couple that aren't even on this list that I think you could argue were superstars of the year. For me, I'm looking at this. Hangman was definitely, to me, the AEW contingent. He is AEW through and through. He rose to the occasion, became the champion, had to deal with all that BS all the way up to the top. Of course, Cody Rhodes is, Josh will get off his jock someday. But
Who the fuck is Josh?
I'm just saying, you're never off of his jock. You might as well be riding.
Everyone should be on his jock. He has a great American-made penis.
I don't know how to respond to that.
Of course,
would
halt you. Could bring you to a grinding halt.
CM Punk, quite a year for him as well. Main eventing WrestleMania for the first time, capturing the World Heavyweight Championship from Gunther.
Who was in the real main event of WrestleMania, Adam?
Can we just move on? Anyway, and of course, Oba Femi just running train on NXT. And then he had a stud performance at Saturday Night's Main Event just a week ago. So, I mean...
Against who?
Cody Rhodes. But for me, Oba is not a male superstar of the year. I think I would even go as far as to say Cody Rhodes hasn't had a banner year. I'm not picking him. It's going to be between Hangman Adam Page and CM
You
Punk.
fucking have a hard on for Hangman. God, you just want to fuck the guy? You want to fucking put on little assless chaps and go to town and Hangman with the Adam Page, baby?
Who told you I had assless chaps?
I'm putting Hangman 4th, and I'm putting Oba 3. To me, this is a Cody Punk award. The
For me,
champions that are ending the year, the two guys in the biggest company who have carried the year and been the top stars.
I will just say this much. I have not been as impressed with Cody Rhodes this year as I have been in years past.
Yeah, that's not fair. It doesn't mean he hasn't been the male superstar of the year.
I'm just saying, call me crazy that you're going to call Cody
You're gonna
Rhodes.
pick fucking Hangman. I'm going to laugh you. AEW
No,
fucking mark.
I am not. I am picking Phil Brooks, CM Punk, to be the male superstar of the year.
You're taking someone in a fucking wheelchair to be male superstar.
Listen. It's subjective, not objective. And honestly, if you could get your American, dildo out of your ass and actually pick somebody else, then are you going to keep singing, whoa? That's all you're going to do. There you go. Yeah, see? That's all you are.
I'm picking Cody Rhodes in WrestleMania because you know
surprise.
Number one male in wrestling, it's Cody motherfucking Rhodes, bro. It is what it is. I'm sorry. It is what it is. He is the champion. He is the face. He is the guy. He is the quarterback. He had the best male year. CM Punk is number 2. He had an amazing year. I love old man CM Punk. This is my favorite version of CM Punk.
Wow, you're
Oba had a great year. Another one, finishing the year as champion. Hey, man, a lot more dud than stud here, especially in the second half of the year. He had the fun little story where he shouldn't have won. Then he held the championship for like a fucking minute before the Samoan Snore took it from him.
That has nothing to do with it.
MJF has to save that fucking company with that great segment we just witnessed recently in the last couple weeks at AEW to fucking save that fucking promotion. Yeah, this is an easy one. It's Cody Rhodes, and then it's CM Punk in second, and then the other two are just in third and fourth.
Cody Rhodes has had a shit year.
He hasn't. Are you kidding me? Cody Rhodes has had an amazing fucking year. Does it compare to his previous couple years? Absolutely not. But when you're the GOAT, there's nowhere to go but down. But here's the thing. Cody's down is
down to 2.
Above everybody's up. You're just a Cody hater, and that's okay, Nestlemania.
No, I'm not. I just have you are such a Cody lover.
Nestlemania. If I didn't know who Cody Rhodes was, I still would have given him this award because he had the best year. Male Superstar of the Year for 2025 is the American Nightmare. It's Cody Rhodes. You're
a terrible human.
I'm a great human being.
You have no idea what it's like to be objective.
I do have what it's like to be objective. I'm objective all the time in this program. I have to pull your fucking LA Knight, Becky Lynch hating ass to fucking back to reality, Nestlemania, all the time. Because you know what? LA Knight or Jey Uso could have been up for this award, but they're not good enough. They're probably better than Adam Hangman Page. But you know what, Nestlemania? You know who is a great man? Michael Downing. Let's talk some chicks.
Female Superstar of the Year. Iyo Sky. Mercedes Moné. Stephanie Vakir. Toni Storm.
We just talked males. Now we're talking female Superstar of the Year. Michael Downing. Thank you for those nominees. A lot of great nominees this year. It's a tough one. We're split here in WrestleMania. We got 2 WWE, 2 AEW. All had amazing years for different reasons. And I'm looking at this list and I'm like, man, this really was the year of Iyo. She really was reborn. She had a fantastic year. She was someone who we always knew was good, but I felt like she became great this year and really became a staple on our televisions. So to me, very deserving nominee, as you're saying it. Then I look at the 2 AEW mainstays, the champions, Mercedes and Toni. Mercedes doesn't lose unless she faces the AEW Women's World Champion in Toni Storm or Chris Statlander. So you could say, well, Toni beat Mercedes head-to-head. But does that mean she had the better year? I don't know, because I'm looking at WrestleMania. Mercedes has about 50 belts. How many does Toni have right now? She doesn't even have a tag belt. She lost to the fucking your sinning girl who fucking doesn't even wrestle.
How dare you?
Losing the title. That's like losing the title to Maxine, Becky. But yeah, I digress. So to me, I'm putting Mercedes and Iyo up there on a different level. Then I look at my girl. We're all horny for Stephanie. She's got the horns. She's a stud. She burst on the scene this year. She held about 80,000 fucking titles. She's ending the year as the Women's World Champion. She kind of disappeared there in the middle, which was kind of weird. Allegedly she was sick, but also like, what the fuck? But still, her rise I'll give her third place in this award. I thought she had a pretty good year. But to me, it's Mercedes and Iyo. What about you?
You make a very compelling case. I think Toni Storm deserves a special shout out because of how she kind of just kept that entire...
She's like a lifetime achievement award, you know?
I don't know about
for
that.
AEW, like with what she's done, she's
carried the show. She's carried the show for a very long time. She was the best. There. She was the best thing that they've ever done by far, character-wise. And I think she was probably some of the best wrestling I've seen, bar none. But then you talk about Iyo as some of the best wrestling in the world. So I think, to me, I would put Stephanie Vaquer at 4 because of the absence. I would put Toni Storm at 3, and I would make it a Mercedes Iyo 1 and 2 here. I'm going to go with one person in mind because, to me, I don't care how many belts you got. They don't mean shit to me except the one that you're in. So I'm going with Iyo because I'm crazy for Iyo. She's done nothing but aces the whole year. I think consistently wise, she's been great. She's improved very much in her promos. I can't say the same for Mercedes. I feel like she's taken a decline in her promos. And I don't necessarily think that Mercedes can hang with Iyo. So there you go.
Wow, you just made my argument way easy for me. I was going to give it to Iyo, but now I'm not because you reminded me that her year kind of ended with a whimper. And you come on this program every week the last couple of months complaining about how shitty her storylines are. And now you're telling me that her promos got better? Get the fuck out of here, you fucking fraud. I have to give it to Mercedes now because your reasoning is such bullshit. Mercedes
That's not bullshit.
Has every fucking title on the planet.
That doesn't matter. None of them matter. None of them matter. None of them matter.
15 men to walk.
None of them matter. None of them matter.
They all fucking matter.
They don't matter.
She's the greatest champion in the world right now. She has so many titles. In
she keeps losing them now.
Yeah, well, that you have to lose them eventually. That's how you win more. You can't keep them forever. Yeah,
she can't win the big one.
You know why Charlotte's won so many fucking titles? Because she lost it so many fucking times. This is an easy one. Mercedes Moné, female superstar.
Oh, another honk.
Iyo Sky.
Another
nice,
honker
like
right there.
6 or 7 months, little 6 or 7. But then she ended here with a whimper. Now she's fucking Rhea's lapdog. Get the fuck out of here.
Mercedes cannot win the big one.
Fucking
Mercedes has had some duds too, but she's a dud.
I'm willing to bet that Iyo is part of a tag team now. So maybe she should be up for the next award. What say you, Michael?
Tag Team of the Year. Fraxium. FTR. Hank and Tank. The Hardy Boys.
Some people might say we're a tag team.
I'm Kane. You're the Hurricane.
I feel more like I'm the Undertaker and you're Kane.
I'm just saying I'm the alpha and you're the little...
Listen. Sometimes you need a power and sometimes you need a little guy. You got like a good, big, strong person and then like a speedy guy. It's a good tag team. I think that's
cool
great.
Cool guy, not cool guy,
I mean, that's fair.
HBK.
You're going to call me Jannetty. You're going to call me Jannetty.
Why not? This is the jobber knocker.
Okay.
I didn't know that was an insult.
Does that make you Edge and I'm Christian?
I love Christian way more.
There you go. You can be Christian then.
I also think Christian's on the same level of Edge, so.
It's fine. Anyway, we've got 4 of the best, and I don't know about this, best category. We've got Fraxium, which in my opinion, once they got to the main roster, they put on some bangers.
They put on bangers. Right? The only reason they're nominated here because there's a lot of teams that just don't do anything.
Right. And I'm thinking tag team champions here. The tag team division up until recently hasn't been very good, so I feel like we're kind of been stuck here.
The Judgment Day held the titles for like 6 months without defending them. Now the Wyatts have held the titles for months without defending them. So that's the WWE. And then NXT's kind of been a hot potato, but they have some representation here.
Thank God we didn't put Dark State on this one.
Honk, honk.
I knew you were going to do that.
I can't wait to talk about Hank and Tank.
We got FTR, your boys that are perpetually the best tag team on the planet.
Yep.
Of course. And they had a great back and forth there with Edge and Christian, or Cope and Christian. And now they've got the AEW tag titles, which is
finally
they needed. I feel like it took forever for them to get
those fucking jobbers, Brodito.
It's been a tough one. I can't even remember. Was it? No, we didn't even put Shelty and
They didn't have that long reign.
Okay, all right.
And I love those are my boys, but like, who are you taking off?
Hank and Tank.
Honk, honk. How can you take off the winners? Come on.
You're gonna give it to them?
I don't know. We'll see.
And then, of course, another perpetual great tag team of all time.
Think of a throwback.
Yeah. Got to dry my hands. And then, V1. Of course, the Hardy Boys have been doing great stuff in TNA, and then they had that match with the Dudley Boys. Of course, we love.
They won the NXT tag titles.
They won the NXT tag titles, so they were all over the place. JC, they were doing a bunch of stuff. Could they get a set of Golden Noggin? That little Golden Knocker action, For me, Fraxium hasn't done enough. You're out.
Yeah, get out of here. Number 4.
Get out of here. You're number 4. Hank and Tank, I love you guys. Number 3, you're out. See, buys.
Raise the roof.
It's either going to be FTR or the Hardy Boys. I am going to give it the slightest edge, no pun intended, to
You're the fucking Hardy Boys?
Yeah, because you know why? They won 2 sets, not one, but 2 sets of tag team championships. And they've had some great, matches going forward. And I think people just always love the Hardys. You just have a soft spot for them. I think out of anything tag team wrestling, you think them. This year, they had a resurgence. I'm happy for them. NXT and TNA tag team champions, they get my golden knocker.
Yeah, they're 3rd for me because they're fucking
old. Get the fuck out of here.
I can't fucking give it to old people. It's on FTR and honk, Hank and Tank.
That you know.
Here's the thing. FTR had a disappointing year until they didn't. Studs. And they're going to be nominated for this every year because they're a real tag team. They do real tag team things every year. They're consistent. But you know what, Nestlemania, when I think of 2025 and I think of tag teams, there's only one tag team moment that I'm going to remember. Because this was the year. This was the rise of the honk, Hank and Tank, baby. They had such a great story to winning the titles, with talking with all the tag teams and really earning their keep. And then you know what, Nestlemania? Recently on NXT, they had about a 20-minute match with OTM. Fucking Boehner. These guys are good now. They're entertaining. They're going to work no matter what they ask them to do. So for me, I'm giving my 2025 Tag Team of the Year Golden Knocker to Hank and Tank. Honk, all the way to glory, baby. I love these motherfuckers. They're the best ever. They did it better than Otis and Tucky. Hank and Tank are better. Honk.
I can't believe you gave it to them. Like, I literally can't.
They're the only tag team I'm going to remember from 2025.
Listen to me. They won't be a tag team in 3 years. They won't be.
They probably
no, they won't be.
They'll be unemployed or they'll be a tag team.
Yes, they'll be unemployed. They will not be a tag team.
On the main roster doing fucking comedy segments.
No, they won't. They have Otis. They don't need anybody. They got Otis.
You know who's the new Otis? These guys. They're better. Honk.
I think that is the worst nominee / winner you've ever predicted.
Fucking geriatrics who can barely move and fucking barely move.
They have charisma.
Yeah, so does Hank and Tank. Hank and Tank have more charisma than anybody else on this list. Well, besides FTR studs. But yeah, no, it's Hank and Tank. It's simple, Nestlemania. What? And you know what? They were great champions, which happens to be our next category, Michael.
Best Champion. Ethan Page, North American title. Mercedes Moné, TBS. Oba Femi, NXT title. Toni Storm, AEW Women's.
Ain't no way you can stop me now. Now that I'm on my way, I can see my heart of a champion, Nestlemania. Best champion in, I almost said WWE, in wrestling in 2025. There's always good champions every year. We love champions. Hell, both companies added about 30 championships this year, so there's a lot more things to think about. But you know what, Nestlemania? I'm looking at this list. None of the new titles. None of the intercontinental or continental / whatever the fuck AEW calls their titles. None of the fucking, there's just so much shit. But Nestlemania, I'm looking at this list and I'm like, we had some damn good champions. We have 2 of them are still the current champions in Ethan and Mercedes. Then we also had Toni, who's pretty much, when you think of the AEW Women's World title, you think of Toni Storm. And then the NXT champion, Oba Femi, his first reign was very, very, very dominant. Then he lost to Ricky Saints, but he has since won it back, and he is ending the year as the NXT champion, going into a match with Leon Slater in the new year. In Nestlemania, this is a tough one, but I think I know who I'm going to pick.
Gee, let me guess. Why don't you?
I'm down to Ethan Page and Mercedes Moné.
I was going to say, look, Oba Femi, great, but I don't see Oba Femi, in my opinion. He'd had a great year, but
meat hater.
No, it's not. I'm saying the other 3 to me make a better case. I think I think Toni Storm is a little bit above Oba Femi, but not by much. So it is to Ethan Page and of course Mercedes Moné. Now I'm not worried. So I'm not saying because she's got a bunch of titles that she's the best champion. I'm only concerned with the TBS championship here. So let's.
Ethan Page also has a couple titles.
That's true. He also had the mixed tag champions as well. I think
they still have that.
Okay, they still have that. So he's also been a multi-champion. I think he's got a custom championship. I think he holds himself to be a champion, of course. But Mercedes has held that championship for a very, very, very long time.
Yeah, like it's been almost 3 years at this point.
It's crazy. I mean, in terms of the caliber of the matches that she has for that championship, I think she's better than everybody else in that category. I think, but Ethan Page carries himself like a champion, so you can make a case for either. I'm going to lean a little bit towards Mercedes Moné. She's going to get my golden knocker on this one because I think based on the caliber of the wrestler, not saying that Ethan Page is not a great wrestler, he's a great entertainer and a good wrestler, but I think in terms of the best champion across the board, Mercedes Moné has embodied the idea of what a champion is, and she looks like a star. She acts like a star. Like you always say, it looks like money, smells like money, must be money. So Moné is my golden knocker.
So you come on here and you give me all this shit because you think I'm just going to hand my knocker to Mercedes and then you give it to her? Well, guess what, Nestlemania? My best champion of 2025 is Ethan Page, bitch! Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Because you know what? You mentioned it right there. He's got the custom championship. He has taken that championship and made it like so important. Obviously, Mercedes is in the same thing. But like you said, she has like 80 of them. So is she probably the best champion overall? Probably, because she has about 30 fucking titles. But in terms of the individual championship and the best champion per their title, which I guess is like the thing of the award, maybe we adjust it in the future since a lot of people now are holding multiple at once, even Dom doing it. I think I have to give it to Ethan Page because what he has done has been so much fun. I love the pairing with Chelsea Green. And you know what? He has banger matches every time he defends it too. Obviously Mercedes does, but I expect that from her. Because to me, it's her, it's Roxanne, it's Iyo, and they are the elite of the elite in terms of women's wrestling. Ethan Page, yeah, is he the greatest? No, but he's way above average, and he's a stud. And I enjoy everything he does. So Ethan Page, you're my best champion for 2025 with that North American Championship. Nestlemania didn't see that one coming. Big time swerve. Michael, swerve us to the next category.
Best one-time entrance. CM Punk Fire Burns and Cult of Personality. Mystico's Grand Slam Mexico entrance. Tiffany Stratton's Barbie WrestleMania entrance. Young Bucks entrances with Broke Boys.
Some people like to walk into the room and make an entrance. This year, we're talking about the best one-time, not one, not two, not three, but one-time entrance. Could be a special entrance, could be an emotional entrance, could be the last entrance. You never know. But an entrance is very important to the overall presentation of the character in professional wrestling. So we've got some doozies here, JC. We've got a couple that are very near and dear to my heart, but I will say this much. It seems like you can kind of figure out what it is. So for me, CM Punk, the Fire Burns gave me that emotional, that feeling. And then watching him main event WrestleMania with Cult of Personality come out, that was a really big moment with his best friend. That's a moment in time. Mystico having the Heroes Welcome for Grand Slam Mexico. The crowd went bananas. It was a really cool moment for Mystico. You go down to Tiffany Stratton's Barbie style WrestleMania entrance was fucking dope as hell. I'm sure she wanted to do that forever if you heard her interviews. The Young Bucks entrances over the whole thing were like they were completely broke and they wouldn't give them pyro. Like you could pick and choose whatever you want. But man, it was funny just based on the way the Chiron guys and the pyro and everything just didn't work and it was little flares. The whole broke Bucks thing was really funny. However, I'm going to put that number 4. For me, I love the Barbie entrance. It was really cool. It was a one-time entrance. But I don't think the crowd really ate it up as much as the other two, the CM Punk and the Mystico. So for me,
you're considering giving this award to Sin fucking Cara?
Listen to me. It is about a man. Listen to me. It is about a man and what he means to his country. That's all I'm saying. Do you see people weeping? They were weeping. They were weeping.
Bad Bunny did it better.
He's not in this year, is he? Shut the fuck up. Anyway, I don't know Where you lie, JC? Where do you lie?
Oh, that's an easy one for me. I'm giving it to Tiffany Stratton's Barbie entrance. I thought that was the dopest one-time entrance of the year. That's an easy one for me. Give Tiffany the knocker because it's Tiffany time. Like the CM Punk was cool. That'll be my second. I enjoyed the Bucks all year. And there's no fucking way that Sin fucking Cara is coming anywhere near a fucking knocker for me. He goes in last place.
Wow.
So Tiffany time, baby, for me.
You're a hater from way back.
This could work for number 1 and number 2. It's Tiffany clobbering time.
For me, I'm going to be an emotional person here. I'm going to go with CM Punk watching this fire burns, knowing that that was his song when he was in WWE, seeing his progression and how he left, and then being able to come out with his best friend and the emotional moment of him being a finally recognized WrestleMania main eventer. So for me, I'm just going to pick that as my golden knocker moment because what a moment it was to see the whole transition, the whole thing from top to bottom. It was a star-making moment, even though he was already a star. So there you go.
You know what's better? You know what's better than an entrance Nestlemania? I'm asking you a question. Do you know what's better than an entrance?
Everything.
An exit, bitch. See ya.
Best brand: AEW Dynamite, NXT, Raw, SmackDown.
Some might call the Jobber Knocker a cult Nestlemania, and cults, you know what they like to do? Brand themselves with shit. That's not what we do. I mean, it'd be cool though. If you get a Jobber Knocker tattoo, you should totally send us a picture. We should get Jobber Knocker tattoos. Should we get them? Put them in the comments where we should get them.
On our ass?
Yeah. What? Jobber on one cheek, knocker on the other, or we get them on our tits because that's what they are. We're talking best brands here as we talk about branding our bodies with filth. And you know what? I look at this and I laugh because AEW Dynamite's not nominated. Neither of us fucking watch that shit anymore. So get the fuck out. And so we look at Raw, SmackDown, NXT. I thought this was a down year for SmackDown overall. It felt like it just was kind of, the 3 hours and 2 hours. Now they're going to go back to 3 hours. So I'll put the third. Netflix on Raw has definitely had its ups and downs. And with the bookend stuff with Seth, it was tough. But I felt like the highs of Netflix were really high. But to me, Nestlemania, I give it to this brand every year because it's the best fucking brand. It is the most consistent, entertaining, fun, pure wrestling show in a brand. And that's NXT. It's great. Shawn Michaels and his crew does a great job. More on him in a little bit. But they have the best women's division consistently. They have just fun matches every week. They have fun storylines. Now they have TNA involved. People love going down NXT. So to me, this is a no-brainer. The best brand for 2025, 2024, 2023. Go back fucking as long as you want. It's NXT.
Well, AEW is never going to get to the brand ever. Just never going to happen on this show. So let's just call that what it is.
If you have that tattoo, you're a fucking dork.
Yeah. And then I will say that SmackDown really hasn't been that great since Cody's, the captain of the ship. So
not Cody's fault, bro.
Yeah, it kind of is. It lives and die with him. Yeah. He's the reason the seats aren't getting filled. It's fine.
Oh yeah, no, the seats are being filled. First of all, there's nothing to do with it.
I don't know about that.
SmackDown sells better than Raw, bro.
I don't know about that, bro. And then, of course, we got NXT and, of course, Raw, as you already eloquently laid out. But for me, you tip the scales. I think we're going to give a set of golden knockers here, JC, because you said the part about TNA as well as the fact that the consistency factor is in there. So they're going to get NXT, of course, gets a set of golden knockers.
Easy one. Next.
Best Booker: Shawn Michaels, Tony Khan, Triple H.
Folks, people talk about the best Booker. You know what the Booker is? This pencil.
Devin Booker? Corey Booker?
Nah. You always are in fights with the pencil. Always trying to get over on the pencil. Always trying to get over on the pencil. The pencil. The pencil. You know why the pencil is always there, JC? Because there's an eraser. An eraser. Because some people need to be erased. That's why
deleted.
They always have to be given the book. And this year we've got 3 because quite frankly, that's all we've got. But because we're not going to put TNA in here, but we've got a couple.
Know who books TNA?
Not off the top of my head. Probably
exactly.
Tommy Dreamer? I don't know. Anyway, listen, Tony Khan. No.
You know what this category is an excuse for in WrestleMania? Us to shit on Tony Khan. He's fucking the worst booker, dude. He sucks. Have fun with your Continental Classic, nerds.
I will say this much. I was trying to see if I could do that. I can't do it. Tony Khan books good matches. Like
he doesn't book the matches though.
He books matches. He doesn't book stories. So
yeah, but he just writes the names on the paper. His producers book the actual matches.
That's fair. That's fair. Triple H has been clearly having
a bad year for Triple H.
It's having a bad year. So by default,
it's not default. It's a runaway.
It's a runaway. Fine. I was trying to be nice about it, but you went over and pulled your pants down and fucking Randy Moss all over it. But the Heartbreak Kid is moving and grooving and still just kicking and screaming all the way to the top because that's just what he does. He knows how to chef kiss it all the way. So
I think I'm cute. I know I'm sexy. I got the looks that drive the awards wild. I got the moves that really move them. I send chills up and down their spines. I'm just a golden knocker. Knocking. Yeah, it's HBK. I fucked that up. But you get it. Shawn Michaels, best booker. We could probably book this award with this result for the next fucking as long as he's doing it because Triple H is going the wrong way and Tony Khan is too busy snorting up his nose. Next!
Best heel. Becky Lynch. Gunther. Logan Paul. Solo Sikoa.
Get him off my TV, get him off my TV, get him off my TV. It's time to be in the heat.
Time to get negative. Nestlemania, but you know what? We love heels. And you know what? Michael just read off 4 of the best heels of 2025. And you look at that list, Nestlemania. No MJF. In fact, no AEW. Because they were all over the fucking map this year. The only heel you could probably put here was Don Callis, but no one wants a fucking thumb in their top 4. Plus, WWE brought the heat this year, man. There's a lot of good heels on this list. I mean, Gunther fucking retired 2 legends this year, including the Cena one. Big time asshole. Becky Lynch, huge asshole most of the year. Solo Sikoa. I mean, he's one of the best doing it right now. Underrated. And then, of course, you got Logan Paul, who's just fucking Logan Paul. No one fucking likes you, bro. But I like all 4 of these individuals in WrestleMania. But to me, it comes down, and it's funny, they had a match recently, heel versus heel. Gunther and Solo Sikoa are my final 2. Because obviously we could run through Gunther's accolades and the shit he does. He's just the perfect heel. To me, I believe I said it on the Knocker recently, he's like this generation's Brock Lesnar. He is the true end boss, the true bad guy, the true big bad, the guy that you have to get to be where you need to be. But Solo Sikoa is that in a different way. He's more of like the Randy Orton of this generation, where he's just really fucking good. And he's so fucking hateable. But he's just getting so good that I think people are finally starting to respect him. He's the best Uso. It's not fucking close. And he might also be the best heel for 2025. What say you?
Well, look, Logan Paul has been a great asshole, but I put him at 4 because I feel like he hasn't gotten to the next step yet this year.
Yes,
I feel like he will get there. He'll have a monumental year maybe this coming year, but I don't think this year was a standout year for him in terms of what he was doing. Becky Lynch has done a great job this year highlighting other people, and I think she's found her sweet spot in a lot of ways. I think she's been doing a great job. I would put her in the conversation. Solo Sikoa, you made a very strong case. I love my boy Solo. However, I feel like, and I think you would agree with me on this, he's needed some rehabilitation, which is not his fault. But he's done a great job with what he's been given, and he is going to be a major player going through the entire thing. I'd put Solo at 3. To me, it's between Becky Lynch and Gunther. And that's fine. We don't have to agree. That's why you give out yours and I give out mine. That's what it is. That's how we do this show. Okay, so deal with it.
Who are you giving it to?
The one and only Zaring General Gunther. Because, like you said, retired Goldberg. See ya, Dink. Retired Cena. You're done. You tapped, bitch. And he is going to be launched into another stratosphere now as the big bad, as you were saying. And I think consistently, he has put on the best matches. He has never, ever, ever looked at, even a monumental moment, even a millisecond of a moment, he has never been looked at as somebody that you want to cheer for. somebody that is absolutely an asshole, has never gone out of their way to say anything nice about anybody. He loves the moment. He loves the booze. And he is going to continue to beat all of our favorites. And that, to me, is the best kind of heel.
I love consistency in Nestlemania. And Gunther obviously is a stud. But Gunther was not around a lot of this year. So it got me thinking, like, man, if we're talking like, moments, Gunther probably had the best moments as a heel. Absolutely. I agree with that. But if I'm talking consistency, 12 months of work, being there every week, doing it in front of the crowd, backstage, in the ring, it's hard to go against Solo Sikoa. So that's why it's a hard one for me, because you have the highs of Gunther, but you have the consistency of Solo. You gave yours to Gunther, which opens the door for me to MFT it up. I'm giving my golden knocker to Solo Sikoa for the best heel of 2025. And I think, you know what? It might come down to these two again next year. Maybe sprinkle in a little MJF because he seems to be coming back with some super hot fire. But I'm giving it to Solo because of the consistency, how good he was. And it's just like every time he's on screen, they fucking hate him, dude. The crowds fucking hate him, and he eats it up. You see all the clips of him fucking doing shit with fans. He's the best. I love Solo. I love Gunther, but I love you, Solo. And you get my 2025 golden knocker for best heel. Shall we move on?
Michael, hit us with it, please.
Most underutilized talent: Austin Theory, Grayson Waller, Jamie Hayter, Karrion Kross.
Some people just don't enjoy and recognize real talent. Maybe they just sit on the bench. Maybe some people host a show every Tuesday and their co-host just doesn't recognize how good they truly are.
Or maybe that, one co-host thinks he's like the best and the other one is underutilized because he'll probably just do the show solo.
Sometimes I have to, because sometimes you don't listen to me at all.
What?
Right. Anyway, underutilized talent. There's a lot that they didn't utilize this year. We've whittled it down to 4. And we've got some people that we really, truly love that we wanted to see more of, and maybe just give that ball and see if they could score. But unfortunately, it feels like right now, some of them aren't even with us any longer in terms of our television screen. So
R.I.P. Yeah, you're referencing Karrion Kross, which that one, to me, that might be my winner. We're going to talk through it here, but they had a chance with this guy. It was like that Rusev Day type thing. It was like they have a chance here with Karrion Kross. Are they going to do it? No. They just let him walk. They did not capture the moment with Karrion Kross, and that is the epitome of being underutilized. Just like Corbin last year, just let him go. But to me, it was shocking because, it's one of those things now, maybe they bring him back at some point, but you can't recapture what they had. You can't. They found something with a guy who was very mid, and they blew it. And then we look at the rest of these Nestlemania. Jamie Hayter, she could be on this list every year with AEW. How is she not the Women's World Champion by now? She's fucking barely on TV. She's doing C-list storylines. She's one of the most talented women they have. And obviously she was out for a little bit, but it's just one of those things, she comes back and it's more of the same with her. I don't get it. And then you talk about the tag team player, Austin Theory. In theory, looks like he's going to be doing big things now. So we don't expect him to be on this list in 2026 because they might have a vision under that mask of Austin Theory. And then we talk about Grayson Waller, or should I say Big G, who pretty much is a glorified New Day lackey and Big E replacement. That to me is underutilized. This guy could be the next Miz for them with that type of personality and ability, except for he's really fucking good in the ring. The Miz is fine for what he is, but Grayson Waller, he could be one of the best wrestlers you have if you take the chance on him. Thank God Nikki Bella didn't. But to me, this is a tough one, Nestlemania. I'm curious your take.
Take a chance on me. Take a chance on me. Sorry. Look, Grayson Waller, you made a very compelling case for. I was not thinking that. Jamie Hayter, always love me some Jamie Hayter. Hayter in the house. But to me, Jamie Hayter's number 4. Austin Theory, number 3, because he was gone for so long.
So I feel number 4.
So I feel like Jamie Hayter's been kind of sitting there, and I feel like to me, at what point do you get from underutilized to this is just the way somebody sees you? You know what I mean? So I feel like Tony Khan sees her that way right now. Probably
But that's on him. That's why he didn't win Best Booker and never will.
I understand that. I'm just saying right now, at some point, if we keep saying she's going to be in here every year, then, maybe at this point she is what she is at AEW. Maybe she should go across the street. Just saying.
I agree. Because get her to WWE.
I'm just saying, right? So for me, I'm going to say it's Karrion Kross, because I think when you look at the package that they both bring together as a team, it's great. I didn't know that they had Aleister Black and Zelina Vega in the chamber. So when Zelina Vega and
why not have them feud Nestlemania?
I understand that. That's a great idea. They could be a tag team. Remember that foursome? That'd be fun. You'd never seen that before with two girl managed. Here's the thing. Hope we didn't even think about this. Imagine if they were a stable and they were both tag team champions. What about that? What could have been? That's another category for another time. But I will say Karrion Kross had a huge following. The crowd wanted to see it. They were buying his t-shirt. There's no more metric, in my opinion, than merchandise. You can say whatever you want about ratings, but as you said in this program many times, JC, being our Nielsen, whatever you want to say, I wouldn't say expert, but you understand Nielsen better than these virgins. It doesn't matter. What matters to me is, what are you selling? Tickets? Maybe merchandise. He was the number one seller, t-shirt, against CM Punk, Roman Reigns, John Cena, Mr. Yeet Master, who keep putting out new t-shirts every fucking week. Karrion Kross should be in the WWE. Karrion Kross should be in a featured role right now, and he is on the independent circuit doing the best he's done and probably making a crap ton of money, but he's also doing his own schedule. But man, did they drop the ball with this guy? They dropped the ball with him. And that
this is the easy one. He's the most underutilized. I know I kind of set it up with the other ones, but this is the Karrion Kross Award for 2025. They fucking blew it. They had something and they blew it. It flat out blew it. And this is why Triple H, you made a lot of mistakes this year. And some of them can be subjective, but this one isn't. This one you actually blew. You fucking blew it. You had the opportunity to capture a moment and take advantage of something, make some motherfucking money, and you didn't. So, most underutilized talent for 2025, it's Karrion Kross. We agree. And you like his hair.
I do. What a wonderful looking man with just the hair, just in general.
Yeah.
Man.
What could have been Nestlemania if they kept him around? Coincidentally, Michael, is that our next category?
Leapt the Dolphin. What could have been? John Cena's 17th championship win and reign. Karrion Kross in WWE. MJF and the Hurt Syndicate. Naomi's championship reign.
Nestlemania. Are those leaping dolphins I hear? We kind of alluded to it. Michael just ran through it. Leapt the Dolphin, what could have been? I feel like this is one of our favorite categories every year because we get to imagine what could have been. Mm-hmm. And man, we have a really good list this year, Nestlemania. We obviously just talked pretty in depth about Karrion Kross. Well, what could have been if they actually kept him around? That's a good discussion. We talked earlier in the show. I gave it my best story, but what could have been if they kept it going with MJF and the Hurt Syndicate and didn't just randomly stop it? What could have been if Big Jim didn't insert his big into Naomi and impregnate her and end her championship reign that she had just won? And then Nestlemania. What could have been? A lot of people have had this discussion. If John Cena's 17th win and reign, if he was a babyface and not a fucking asshole. So, a lot of interesting discussions here. To me, this is a hard category because all four of these, I think, man, there really could have been some cool stuff. I am going to cross off Naomi, not because I'm not interested in what her reign could have been, but it's just to me, it's the John Cena and Karrion Kross ones really had something to be special, and then the MJF thing was just so good. That's the last time I cared about AEW. So I'm going to put Naomi fourth, even though I was very curious to see what could have been eventually with Jade and probably Bianca and everything else. I look at the rest of these. We just talked pretty in depth about Karrion Kross, and look, there could have been some really cool stuff, but at the end of the day, was he ever going to win a world title? Probably not. Could he have really cool stories and win a mid-card title? Absolutely. But to me, that's not good enough to be in the top 2. So that's number 3. So to me, it comes down to what John Cena's reign could have been in MJF and the Her Syndicate. What say you, my friend?
You called me a friend. You must be drunk.
Not yet. I wish.
Well,
we got a lot more categories though, so I will be.
I know. For me, I think the Naomi thing was great. I put that at number 4 as well, because I think it's just that's the way life happens. I was very excited to see where her character went, and I will see it someday, I'm sure, but it's going to take a long time, which was really a bummer. I thought she was hitting her stride. Karrion Kross, like you said, I kind of agree with you that he's kind of, as much as we wanted it to happen, I don't think he was ever going to be world champion. So I feel like, to me, when you think like what could have been, that's not the trajectory of what could have been. To me, it still has a ceiling. So I think it's either between the MJF Hurt Syndicate and, of course, John Cena's 17th reign as the way it might have turned out. Now, listen, I think for me, what tips the scales here for me is that as much as I love the idea of MJF, in my opinion, it would have been either Bobby or MJF wins the championship, and then the other one, turns on the other one, and then we're off to the races. And I thought Bobby Lashley versus MJF could have been amazing in terms of what could have been. So for me,
we could still get that.
Sure. I just feel like we're gonna have to rehabilitate Bob. That's what I feel like at that point. We were crucially right where we needed to be, and it just seemed weird because here's the thing: they were like trying to help MJF win the championship. So I feel like there's still a thing there. Anyway, to me, I'm going to put that at number 2, and I'm going to give it to John Cena in his 17th title reign, because you could go one of two ways here, and you could split off, choose your own adventure in terms of the what could have been, which was, could he been a babyface? Could he have just been the babyface that we always wanted him to be all the way through? Or we could talk about this aspect of it as well, JC. At Elimination Chamber, he had Travis Scott and The Rock. What could have been there? What kind of NWO-ish final boss? We never
Hollywood faction, they were calling it.
Yeah, what could have been in terms of what Travis Scott could have brought to the table in terms of eyeballs, not wrestling, but eyeballs. The Rock being on television is always good for the product. And of course, John Cena. Now, the fact that they wanted to do something big in Elimination Chamber made me feel like they weren't doing anything really for the long term of what could have been. But I think when I look at it, I'm going to give it to John Cena based on the fact that they presented me with something that I had never seen before in that.
Never seen 17.
And he will never be seen again, at least in the wrestling ring. And to me, that is the most egregious thing in the world. When you give me something so tantalizing that it makes me frothing at the mouth, wondering what can happen next. And then you just find out that, don't look over here. This never happened. We're doing something over here now. That to me is the biggest what if question in the world, because I think people are still asking that question. As you can see, they asked it on the Chris Van Vliet podcast of John Cena. John Cena just had the Cody Rhodes podcast, came out today. Go check that out. I listened to it. It was really stellar. They talked about that as well. So I think that is a question on everybody's mind, why it didn't happen. And of course, we got the answer from Logan Paul. So I think that's the reason. So to me, that's what could have been. John Cena's whole trajectory could have changed with that entire little tweak.
Yeah, to me, 2025, like the storyline of what could have been is John Cena. Because as amazing as the heel turn moment was, the match with Cody at WrestleMania sucked and the moment sucked. And it was one of those things where we thought 17 could be really special. And we didn't get that. We didn't get that special moment. So what could have been if he won that as a babyface? Like maybe he lost to Cody there, and then maybe at SummerSlam he earned his way back, and they went baby versus baby, and he won it. You know what I mean? Like there were opportunities. Who knows how you do it? But the moment, the seminal moment of him winning the title, we didn't get because it was the heel thing. And obviously you alluded to, like, they didn't even go all in on the heel turn with The Rock and Travis Scott. Like there was so much there, and they just kind of let it go because, like, The Rock, he comes in and out and just doesn't fucking care and likes fucking with Triple H. So there's so much meat on that bone. The other stuff, it's interesting, but 2025, it'll always be about this John Cena. The last time is now. And there are so many ways it could have been done differently. But like we've said, in 20 years, we're going to remember the highs, not so much the lows. But what could have been for 2025? It's obviously Mr. Cena. Michael, the last time is now for that category. What's next?
Most Nestle cursed. Zelina Vega being a can. Also most Nestle cursed. The fans of the Jobber Knocker.
Woo! You're cursed. You're cursed.
You can't control it. That's the problem. You think you can control it, but you can't. The Nestle curse cannot be controlled. At Nestlemania, Michael Downing just read out all the nominees. Your curse was so strong this year, you directed it at one fucking person. And she overcame. And what did she become?
A can.
She went from a can to a champion.
Can.
Which is Nestle Cursed 101. Zelina Vega, congratulations. You are the winner of Most Nestle Cursed of 2025. But it worked out for you because this motherfucker right here to my other way.
There you go.
This way. Called you a fucking can over and over again. And what'd you do? You became the U.S. motherfucking champion because you said Nestle, hold my dick. Yeah. So Most Nestle Cursed of 2025, Zelina Vega. There didn't need to be any other nominees. I mean, you've tried it with some others, and we'll see how those play out. Maybe in 2026 when LA Knight wins the Royal Rumble, he'll win Most Nestle Cursed in the opposite direction. But I don't know. I feel like you don't go as heavy on like positive for people anymore, so you're not killing careers. Instead, you're making careers. And in 2025 Nestlemania, you made Zelina Vega's career.
You hear that? I made Zelina Vega's career. Thank you.
The Queen of the Ring.
That was 2 years ago. That was 2 years ago.
Yeah, the Queen Maker, Adam Nestle.
Yeah, right. Listen, who the fuck is Adam? Also, can I say this much? She was a can. She was. And then she won the title that nobody cares about, right? So that's the United States title, though.
Nobody cares about Chelsea Green.
No, I didn't say that. I said at that point they didn't care.
Wow.
So
You know who might win in 2026? The Beautiful Madness when she wins all the world titles.
we could have put Julia in here because she's terrible too. I remember I said
Here we go.
You're
Starting the cursing already, baby.
Listen, I'll say this much: is I'm not even going to give her a knocker. I'm gonna forego and disqualify myself from this
You know
category.
who gave herself a set of knockers? Kiana James.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did. And you know what? Next year, she's going to float all the way to the unemployment line. That's why.
Oh, no, she is not.
Yes, she is.
She is way too talented. Her and
No, she's
Julia
not.
will be fine.
Dime a dozen.
Nestlemania,
Dime a dozen.
Keep coming. Keep
Dime a
cursing.
dozen.
Keep cursing these people into stardom.
Julia, nothing.
Oh, my God.
Then you're going to have Kiana James. See ya.
Oh, my
She's
God.
going to be gone. Can't wait.
Your next two women's world champions right there.
Mm-mm.
Nestlemania, the Nestle curse works in mysterious ways.
You know who's going to
Congratulations, Zelina.
you know who's going to be big though? Aleister Black.
Oh, there we go. He's going to be in the unemployment line in 2026. R.I.P. Aleister. It was nice having you back, buddy. But Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley just fucking buried you. So now Nestle's burying you too with his curse. Michael, I believe we have one more heat category left. What is it?
Get 'em off my TV. The worst thing of 2025 award. AEW Grand Slam Australia. Jon Moxley landing on a bat of nails in the middle of a random dynamite and winning the match. The Death Riders. Travis Scott.
Get him off my TV. Get him off my TV. Get him off of my TV. Worst thing of 2025. We've got some doozies, a doozy of a toozy, if you will. Some real flushers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's saying these guys are shit. And you know what? Here's the funny thing about this category. Travis Scott was so fucking bad, he got himself off our TVs by never coming back. So you know what, Travis? Thank you for your service. You're not going to win this category because you did to yourself. So that leaves us with AEW Nestlemania. And AEW Grand Slam Australia was so fucking bad. It went from a pay-per-view to not a pay-per-view to fucking just being absolutely nothing. So you know what? They kind of took themselves off our TV too. So AEW Grand Slam Australia, thanks for playing. You come in third. So then it comes down to the Death Riders Award with the Death Riders who fucking suck. And then Jon Moxley, who fucking sucks. But one thing he did in particular really sucked. And I'm going to have to read this. Jon Moxley, as Michael said, landed on a bat of nails in the middle of a random dynamite and won the match. It's the most AEW booking you've ever seen. It fucking sucks. He sucks. He fucking, everything about them sucks. But what sucks more in Nestlemania? Jon Moxley doing that or the actual Death Riders? Who involve, remember, Wheeler Yuta is a Death Rider.
Oh my God. That alone is a really good point. I hate that.
You know
Muppet.
what? Give it to the Death Riders. Worse than in 2025. Easy. I'm done.
The Death Riders is terrible. I don't know. So if you watched the contract signing when they said last, I think the last AEW, they said, "Hey, Samoa Joe, you're worse than the Death Riders." I actively stopped and I went, "Did he just say that Samoa Joe was worse than the Death Riders? Get the fuck out of here."
That's a very big insult.
Because honestly,
the Death Riders fucking suck.
The Death Riders might be the worst faction. Well, they're definitely the worst faction in AEW history. But they did absolutely nothing.
Them or Retribution? I might take Retribution.
It's a tough toss-up. I mean,
yeah. At least Retribution had Molotov cocktails, which were more fun.
That's true. But also
jumping on a bed of nails and fucking winning the match on a fucking Wednesday.
You know what you did? You took literally everybody that has no charisma and you put them in a fucking stable. You put him in a stable, and you had nobody that could...
Oh my God, it's true.
Fucking dead weight.
Roddy Strong's wife.
Dead weight.
So
everywhere.
true.
They should have been called Dead Weight instead of the Death Riders. That's what they should have been called. Dead Weight. That's terrible. But it's true. None of them will be stars. None of them matter. It's terrible. I appreciate what Jon Moxley's trying to do, but he is not the tribal chief. So, see ya. You guys, we should just call this a Death Riders Award. Honestly, because this is what it's going to be from now on. Can you match the stinkeroony that was the Death Riders? I don't know, but we're going to find out next year.
Yeah, we are. But this category had so much shit in it. I feel like we got to change the vibe, Nestlemania. What say you, Michael?
Newcomer / acquisition of the year. Blake Monroe. Penta. Rey Fénix. Ricky Saints.
Glorious. You're my only hope. Not you, but the audience. You're my only hope because that's how I get through this program with Nestlemania.
You know, Jesus Christ.
We're in the hope, bro. And you know what I love? The Blake Monroe theme song. Who would have thought? Mariah May. Well, I mean, we all thought it because she has talent and she's young, so she's going to go to WWE. Mariah May / Blake Monroe showed up in NXT, as Michael just said put. You know who else showed up in NXT Nestlemania? Ricky fucking Saints, stud. Held both male singles titles in the course of 2025. So those two, definitely major acquisitions and newcomers to NXT. If we look at the main roster, they got some brothers of the lucha variety. Separated, though, Penta and Fénix. One hit a little harder than the other. Penta. Fénix is a stud. He's had some banger matches, but he's clearly 4 in this category, Nestlemania. But I look at the other 3, and I'm like, Penta, Monroe, Saints? What say you?
Well, I'll say this much. As much as I love the Lucha Brothers, I think that Rey Fénix would be number 4.
Yes.
By far. I will also put Penta at 3, even though I think Penta's a huge star, huge needle mover, in my opinion, for obviously different demographics. He's fun to watch. He's got a great look. He's got a lot of things going for him. So for me, he's exciting, but I wasn't necessarily as excited about the other 2. So for me, Ricky Saints was just like, we were clamoring for Ricky Saints to get over to NXT or WWE because they'll know what to do with him. You could see the potential in NWA. He got to AEW. He was a Cody guy. It seemed like he stayed there and he kind of got punished for being Cody's best friend. So I feel like at that point, it was just like, it was a foregone conclusion. He needed to get the hell out of there. And he did. And he's made a hell of a run. He continues to impress every single time he does something. Blake Monroe, to me, went from a sure thing being at the tippity top of the game and then just decided, you know what? I'm going to gamble on myself and be something even bigger and better. So I think when you look at the seismic shift here, I think you can make a case for Ricky Saints or Blake Monroe in terms of what it's going to do going forward. And I think they're blue chip prospects, right? They've got a lot left to give, which is why I didn't pick the Lucha Bros so high. I'm going to go with Blake Monroe because I think when I look at her, she screams star. She screams somebody that is going to get to the next level. I have really high aspirations for Ricky Saints because he is so good at what he does. But I think in terms of the women, when you look at Blake Monroe, that is a person that goes on the tippity top of the poster. That is a person you can put out for the media. That's a person that I know that will automatically make you feel a certain way, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. I think when you watch Ricky Saints, he's going to make you feel one way, which is kind of like he's a little too cocky for me, which is not a bad thing. That's just who he is. So I'm going to pick Blake Monroe because obviously, but I'm going to say this much. Blake Monroe, she went from a Hollywood murder to a fucking bona fide star in NXT. So for me, I'm going to pick the one and only, the Glamour, for my golden knocker.
So what I love about our Knockies in Nestlemania is that you can interpret these awards in so many different ways. And the way you interpreted this category this year is not the way I interpreted this category this year. Because you were looking at potential. The acquisition, the newcomer who has the most potential. And yeah, Blake Monroe won a title, just lost it. But she had a title. Ricky had both, including being the world champion of NXT. And I think they were both great. But I'm giving my award to Penta. Because Penta, to me, made the biggest impact in 2025 as the newcomer acquisition. Because he burst on the scene, and instantly he felt so much bigger than he ever felt in AEW. He felt important. He might not have the titles, but it was like every week, like people wanted to see Penta. That entrance was special. His matches were special. Every week on Raw, he was one of the biggest draws, it felt like, was Penta coming out. So to me, what I'm looking at for just 2025 and his body of work, I'm giving the Newcomer Acquisition of the Year award to Penta. Cero miedo. And that doesn't mean I don't love Ricky and Blake, because you know those are JC peeps through and through, and they got big futures. But I interpreted this award a little differently this year. And for me, Penta, you're getting my golden knocker.
Put your tongue back in your mouth.
That's not what she said.
Michael, the next category so we can have this guy clean himself up. Thank you.
Best repackage. Alexa Bliss and Charlotte. El Grande Americano. Naomi. Ricochet.
You know, JC, some people, they just don't cut the mustard. So sometimes they just need a new little, coat of paint. Maybe they need new gear. Maybe they need a new entrance, a new attitude. Maybe we call it a repackage. And this year, we've got a lot of people, in my opinion, that have been repackaged. And honestly, I think this might be the most debatable category that we have this year on the knockers. Because when I'm looking at this, you can make a real strong case for all 1, 2, 3, 4 of these particular people. And I'm having a very hard time as I'm looking at this list that Michael just gave us, because I think all of them should get the knocker this year.
Wow.
I don't think we've ever done that, but I think all of them really deserve it.
Yeah, we don't do that. We don't fucking give participation awards in the Jobber Knocker. We ain't a bunch of fucking little bitches in Nestlemania. We pick winners, baby. So let's pick a winner.
Anyway, I'm going to go with this. We've got Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. They was a great tag team. And Charlotte Flair went from being the person that is universally hated to, oh my God, everybody loves her. That's a hard thing to do when she's been noted as the shoveler, noted as the person that always wins championships, and she's all about herself and finally has a friend. So for me, that is a monumental thing to repackage somebody into a lovable character that she has now become. El Grande Americano was, of course, starting out as, of course, a fun little thing for Chad Gable, but then, of course, Chad Gable got hurt, and then, of course, a lot of bad things happened, and then Ludwig picks it up and does something that we never thought we'd ever see in our life, and he just made it his own. He didn't continue down what it was. He has, some lackeys now as well, so he's expanded into that entire thing, and boy, has that made the difference for Ludwig and his peoples. Then Naomi, wholesale change, right? Proceed with caution, doing her best work, being the best heel she's ever been. She's not teetering on the babyface. She was hardcore. She was crazy. She was a little naughty. She did a lot of cool things. I just thought that she was kicking it and doing a great job. And of course, Ricochet. WWE did not know what to do with Ricochet. He goes over to AEW. One of the only things, in my opinion, that AEW did really well, giving him some scissors. You know what I mean? Scissors. And then he becomes this guy with the aha and the fucking, was it the Gates of Agony? Is that what they're called? Now they're
Gates of Agony, and now they have a new name.
The Demand. And he's now the national champion, too many belts, but that's beside the point. I'm just thinking you could really make a case here. And I don't think I can argue.
I'll put Alexa Bliss and Charlotte for.
What?
It's a great repackage. I enjoyed them as a team. But to me, I look at the rest of these. Obviously, El Grande Americano with Ludwig is insane. It deserves to be here. And then the other two, Naomi and Ricochet, I think they're very similar because they're two individuals who are always baby faces. Always. And we're just like, man, with Naomi especially, we're like, we'd like to see her as a heel. With Ricochet, it was like, is he even capable of being a heel? And that to me is what catches my attention of why I put him slightly above Naomi. Because like, I didn't know if he could do it. Hell, the fact that AEW of all companies did it shocked me. But it fucking works. He's a great fucking heel. And it shocked me. So to me, it comes down to him and El Grande Americano. And it's a tough one. Because you know how I feel about Ludwig. But I just think this heel turn for Ricochet was just so stunning and shocking. Because Nestlemania, you always said to yourself, gee, golly gosh, we didn't think he was capable of it. Suddenly, Ricochet goes to AEW of all places, becomes the best character he's ever been as a heel, and can cut a promo. I got to give it to Ricochet because it's just fucking shocking. That's the best repackage to me.
That's a point that could be made. I don't necessarily hate it. Here's the thing. I think you're downplaying the Charlotte thing an awful lot because I think in terms of people getting to cheer her, that's a big thing. But I digress. I will not pick her as my golden knocker because I have to add the Alexa Bliss factor in there, which I think kind of takes away from the repackaging because Alexa Bliss didn't do too much. She was just herself. So that's why I'm kind of taking that one out. I will say El Grande Americano, as much as I love El Grande Americano, I felt like it wasn't a repackage in terms of the person so much as someone stepping into an already developed character and making it their own. So as much as it did help, I feel like it didn't really repackage because you're not being like, that's Ludwig. Like in theory, we're not supposed to know it's Ludwig. So for me, I think that's a disqualification in some form. So it's down to Naomi and Ricochet, which either of them have been great. They've done what I think is yeoman's work to do something. The one thing I think is when I look at both of them, Ricochet still has portions of who Ricochet still is. You know what I mean? To me, it's great. It's wonderful. He's done a fantastic job being a heel. But when I look at Naomi, it's just the overall presentation. Knock it off. She's the overall presentation. The look has changed. The music has changed. Ricochet hasn't changed his music. There's a lot of things I'm just saying. There's a lot. They went all in on Naomi. She's getting my golden knocker from the repackage because I feel like when I look at her, that was what the star was supposed to be. That right there is a money gimmick. She's not going to be some mid-card champion. She is going to be something that you could build around. Fortunately, depending on how you look at it, she's taking some time off at probably one of the worst times for her because she was killing it. She was rolling. But I think when she returns to this character, we're going to be sitting there thinking to ourselves, this is the best thing she's ever done in her life. And I can't wait.
She's never getting that title back, bro.
Could it be a JC curse?
No. I mean, it's just facts.
You don't think she's ever coming back?
No, she's coming back, but she ain't never getting that title back.
You think that's a foregone conclusion?
Yeah.
That might be the stupidest thing you've ever said.
That's not true. And now you're just Nestle cursing it, so I feel even better about my take. Because you know what?
You think she's never getting the championship? That's a bold take.
Not the world championship.
Wow.
She can have a mid-card. She can have a tag team, but she missed her window. Big Jim and her going done and fucked up and had a beautiful baby. Not yet, but maybe by the time we record, I don't know what her fucking when.
I gotta ask. You know what's funny? We got to remember this in case there's a JC curse.
There's no such thing as a JC curse. Everything JC. JC's hopes come true. Hashtag JC knows. How many times this year did things that I hope for and tell you come true? Including what just happened with John Cena, where word for word I said what could happen. So, Nestlemania, all I have to say is like there should be a hashtag JC's hope come true category, but there'd be too many motherfucking nominees, which is why we don't have Michael read them. We have Michael read other categories like the next one.
Breakout / Most Improved Superstar. Jacob Fatu. JC Jane. Jada Parker. Raquel Rodriguez.
When I think 2025 Nestlemania and I think breakout most improved, I think of myself because I always break out and I always improve. Whereas you're going the other way, bitch. But we look at this category. Michael read off some very interesting names. Fatu! Really started to elevate himself as a star. Obviously, ended with a whimper with the injury, but he really was bursting on the scene. And it seemed like he was headed towards the main event with a certain Cody Rhodes until injury said otherwise. Damn shame. But then we go down to NXT Nestlemania, and JC Jane became Mandy Rose and won the championship out of nowhere and then had a great reign. And it was so good that she won it again. And then she was a double champion. Like, what? But you know what, Nestlemania? Jada Parker really burst on the scene this year. We already knew she was a stud, but I thought she took her game to the next level this year. Absolute stud. Her and my girl Lola having some great feuds like they always do. And then Nestlemania, we talk about Raquel. This girl has been through the ringer, not only because of you, but because of her own medical stuff. But she was one of the most Nestle-cursed people in NXT ever, and she overcame it. But then she fell apart again because of her skin disease or whatever she had. But she's come back, and like this year, how many times do we say, like, man, that match with Raquel was really good. Man, that was really good. Raquel improved a lot this year, and I thought got back to where we thought her potential was be. So I look at this category, and I'm like, man, this is a tough one. But to me, I do have a winner. Because there was someone who was the first time she was in a faction. She was the afterthought. She was the extra. She was the girl that got pinned. But now she's the mainstay. She's the champion. She's the face of the fucking brand. And that's JC Jane. Look, we knew she had talent. We knew she'd stick around a long time because she's really good at looking up at the lights and making everyone else look good. But she's been a damn good champion. And I don't think there's an argument for anyone that broke out more in 2025 and shocked us and improved and got to a different level than JC Jane. So she's getting my golden knocker for 2025.
Kind of an upset victory there.
Just like her whole run.
Fair enough. So I think this category, I'm going to have a problem with you and TJ because I feel like this category might need to be broken up because I feel like the breakout star versus the most improved feels a little different here. It feels like we're throwing two things together.
You want more categories, motherfucker. This
no, I want to
like 2 hours.
No. I want to get rid of some and I want to move on to others. That's all I'm saying.
No, this is perfect as one.
As the proprietor of the knocker, as the person that is the god of the knockers, the person that brought you life in terms of this podcast, I deserve the right to say what is going to happen.
You're who we have to blame.
You don't have to be part of this.
500 plus episodes of Nestle Bad Takes.
You don't have to be here.
Yes,
you don't have to be here.
I don't get paid unless I'm here, bro.
I don't pay it. So here we go. Breakout star. Yes, I agree. All of them could be breakouts. Yes, but improved. I don't know. That's what throws me off about this entire thing. It's like weighing which what.
When you break out, you improve, bro. It's the same fucking thing, but it's also a choose your own adventure because there are some people, it's just like newcomer acquisition. Like there's someone who could be a rookie newcomer or there's someone who could be like an acquisition newcomer. This is the same type of thing. You're a fucking moron. There wouldn't be enough if you split this up, but you put it together and you get the beautiful madness of a category.
It takes a lot to make a stew. And I heard that Julia reference and she still sucks. So here we go. I don't care. She sucks, Mike. And so here's what I'm going to say about this. Jacob Fatu, fantastic. Love that guy, but he is not the breakout star that I thought he'd be this year. He will be next year, maybe the years after. We're going to make him the breakout star. JC Jane, you made a very strong case, so I will keep her in mind. Jada Parker, I love what she's done. She's got that swag. She's got that feeling. She's just got that it factor. But to me, I'm not as excited about something else, so I will put her down there. Raquel Rodriguez, what?
You're not excited about Jada Parker?
No, I'm just saying not as excited as the others. That's all. Just relax. Relax, JC.
I would pay to watch her beat you up.
I would gladly let her. It is what it is. To me, the JC Jane that you made, it was a very strong case, JC. And I think I'm teetering. It could be a set. But hold the phone. Raquel Rodriguez has done something, in my opinion, that I didn't think was possible. You actually gave her credit, JC. She was held down by the Nestle curse. And she came from the bottom, the depths of the Nestle curse, rising up like a phoenix. And she has put on banger after banger after banger. And she's been fighting like a tall drink of water. She's been doing her best work. And I think, honestly, when you think about most improved across the board, I think from where she was to where she is today, she should be world heavyweight champion. So you know what? I'm giving my golden knocker to Raquel Rodriguez because when she talks smack in Spanish also, I think that's a really cool thing she does. So I think she's got to kind of find her groove. So there you go. She's got my knocker.
Poor girl just got Nestle cursed again. But you know what, Michael? We'll move on before Nestle does more damage. What's next?
Comeback of the year. AJ Lee, Aleister Black, John Cena, Rusev.
Don't call it a comeback. It's been a whole year of comebacks. 52 weeks of comebacks, perhaps. But we're only picking 4 here, as Michael has just listed. And there's a pretty sizable back and forth we can have here. But I'm going to
want to place bets on who I'm picking?
I mean, this could be a very quick category if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
I mean, all of these people, John Cena. Let's do it one more time.
The last time is now for you to be number 3.
Rusev, to me, not as exciting as a comeback. He's number 4.
2.
Really? Not as exciting.
Rusev's my guy. I'm way more excited for Rusev than those other 2.
Aleister Black, very interesting. Not going to happen.
Hit the floor.
Honestly,
Number
John
4.
Cena, you made your comeback. Not enough for me. There is a woman out there, a revolutionary, a generational talent, a person that defined an entire era. Never thought she'd come back. 10 years later, she comes back looking like she never lost a step. And of course, she's Larry's mom. And
let's let it up. R.I.P. Larry.
Yeah, I know. And so I feel like that was a once in a lifetime comeback. So this is an easy slam dunk. And she's just getting started. So AJ Lee gets my golden knocker.
Yeah, 500 plus episodes of JC hoping for her to come back. We finally got it. And I just remember that moment when I saw her and I heard that music. Let's light it up. My heart was so warm. This was special. There's been 2 comebacks that have really, really got me as a wrestling fan. And it was Cody Rhodes and AJ Lee. So this is an easy one. 2025 comeback of the year. It's AJ Lee. It's not close. It's a runaway. I look forward to more of her work. Michael, what's next?
Full circle moment of the year. Christian Cage and Cope reuniting. Paul Heyman turns on both Roman Reigns and CM Punk. Reigns and Punk, friends forever. Trish returns to face Tiffany at Evolution.
I spin my head right round, full circle. It's a full circle. There are always moments in wrestling, Nestlemania, and in life where things become full circle, so to speak. And we certainly had those this year, as we do every year. But to me, this is another easy one, bro, because Christian and Cope dope, a.k.a. Christian and Edge. Just fucking pose, bro. That's my golden knocker. I don't even need to debate the other ones. It's Christian and Cope. That one gave me the feels. That was the full circle moment because they hated each other and they loved each other again with a common goal to take on FTR and then Christian's ex-family. So easy one for me, Nestlemania. I love Christian forever and always. The Cope dope, he's a dope, but when he's with Christian, I like him a lot more. So that's my full circle knocker moment. Year 2025 award winner. Bam.
As I look at these nominees, I think the Trish coming back to face Tiffany is a nice moment, but not necessarily a full circle moment in terms of what we're looking for in terms of what we need to really define what this category is. Punk and Reigns being friends, they were never really truly enemies. It felt like they were doing a big deal. They had their moment together in the War Games, which was really cool. And they're Zebros. So that's cool. Go check out Zootopia too. It's a great movie, by the way, if you're looking for an animated movie. And then, of course, it's whittled down to Heyman turning on both Punk and Roman, or, of course, the Edge and Christian reunion. I think it was shocking what happened at WrestleMania, but like JC said, we didn't know if Edge was ever going to wrestle again. Then we didn't know if Christian was ever going to be in the WWE again. Then it felt like maybe Christian was going to go over there to AEW, and he kept doing what was honestly his best work he's ever done in his life. Then Edge felt like he was going to retire. We didn't know if he was coming to AEW. He might have. He felt like a WWE lifer, so it felt like it was a faux pas to show up in AEW. But there he is, and they battle each other, like you said. That's the full circle moment. Absolutely, 100% slam dunk. When 2 best friends can finally, and it's not over because next year we're going to say the full circle moment when they become tag champions.
Ooh, because you know what, Nestlemania, right now as we close out 2025, FTR are the champions. So full circle, you would say it's going to happen. But Nestlemania, comebacks are fun. But everyone's always got to finish. Michael, why don't you finish us off, bud?
Oh,
Match of the year. Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens, Elimination Chamber. Toni Storm versus Mariah May, AEW Revolution. John Cena versus Cody Rhodes, SummerSlam. Iyo Sky versus Rhea Ripley versus Naomi, Evolution.
match of the year. Everybody and their mother likes to type on their keyboards and say, this was the best match of the year, 5-star rating, and oh my gosh. Yes, 5 stars, 5 stars. That's exactly what it was, but it wasn't. No. What I'm thinking about is what is the most memorable match of the year? We've got amazing matches that we had to whittle down. We had a laundry list that TJ and JC had to go through. We've got 4 of the best, in my opinion. I'll say this much. You could make a case again for all of these, but I'll say this much. I've got one in mind already in my head, and it is easy peasy lemon squeezy. As much as I love Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, they are destined to beat the shit out of each other. They are number 4 for me. Number 3 is John Cena and Cody Rhodes, because they had to make up for a bad match. And although it was a great thing, I still am sour on John Cena's entire heel run, and it pissed me off. Nothing against Cody. He did everything correct in that one. So it comes down to Mariah May and Toni Storm, or it could be the women's match at Evolution. And honestly, as much as I love the Hollywood street fight, I'm giving it to Iyo Sky versus Rhea Ripley and Naomi. I thought that match had everything it needed to have. It had that match by itself was going to be amazing. And then when Naomi cashed in the middle of that, it felt like everything was taken away from me. I was watching a classic, and then she took it away from me. And that right there, my friends, is the best kind of heel and the best surprise moment. Encapsulated just the whole thing from beginning to middle to end. Perfect. You could not do any better. That's my golden knocker.
You know what's surprising about that? Because that's the triple threat that you picked. But a lot of the virgins picked the triple threat at WrestleMania that had Bianca instead of Naomi with those two as the match of the year, which I thought was interesting. I like them both. I think I liked the one that you picked better just because of the moment. I'm a moments guy, so that elevates a little to me, but that's not really my golden knocker. That, in fact, is actually going to come in 4th for me.
What?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
To me,
you don't know shit.
I know everything.
No, you know nothing.
To me, when I think of 2025 and I think of a match, I mean, Toni and Mariah was amazing. I'll put that 2, which means I'm between 1 and 3, which is Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, and John Cena and Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam. I love that match. It was great. What's my lucky number, Nestlemania? 3. That's where it goes. My match of the year is Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn at Elimination Chamber. This match was incredible. Go back and rewatch it, bro. I know it was in like fucking February or March or whatever, and you only go back like a month ago because the only can think about is that. But to me, that was the match of 2025. That's what I'm giving it to, because that's the one that I loved. I thought it was great. I believe it was in Canada, my home and native land, right? I don't fucking know. I don't know. It was in Australia? I don't fucking know. Was it in Australia? I don't know. I'm mixing up last year and this year. But that was a great fucking match, wherever it was. I loved it. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, 2025 Golden Knocker, match of the year. You thought I was going to give it to Cody, and you were wrong.
The fact that you can't remember the location shows me everything I need to know about what you think.
Where was
matters.
Evolution?
That doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Exactly. So I win. You lose. Knockers have been given out. Should we get to the next category?
I think it's time to get meat. Meat.
Meet Superstar of the Year. Bronson Reed. Oba Femi. Jasper Troy. Bronson Reed.
Meat. Nestlemania, we love meat here on the Jobber Knocker, including meat superstars. And you know, we heard those 4 nominees. 2 of them sound like they're the same person, which I don't know how that happened, but you know what? Bronson Reed, so nice. Why not have him twice? But also Oba Femi and Jasper Troy, as Michael just said. That's a lot of fucking big, meaty, delicious men that slap meat and do shit. Look it, man. This is an easy one for me. This guy has been nominated earlier. He's a fucking stud. He is the epitome of meat. He's had some great matches with little guys and with meaty guys. Oba Femi, meat, is my 2025 Meet Superstar of the Year. I fucking love this guy. 2-time NXT champion, absolute stud. He's going to be on the main roster next year. He'll probably be in the Royal Rumble. He's going to be a big-time player. Just had a big match with Cody Rhodes. He is by far the meatiest of men. Bronson has a really good, resume. In fact, that's why he's on the list twice. And Jasper Troy, he won LFG. He's come on. He's the new speed champion, which is kind of funny. But I guess that makes sense. 3 minutes or less, and you win the match. It's a squash. But it's Oba Femi for me.
So clearly, Oba Femi is a big deal. He's a big, meaty man. Jasper is going to be my number 4. Bronson Reed.
Bronson's gonna be...
Hold on. Bronson Reed is going to be number 3 for me. And then, of course, we're going to come down to Oba Femi and Bronson Reed. That's right. So what we're going to do here is, it's a little different here. I'm going to give my golden knocker, since he's in there twice, clearly a Freudian slip on my part. He's got to win because otherwise that's just fucking atrocious.
First and third.
Yes, exactly. So I'm going to put him first and third because he took up so much space because he's a meaty man who had to beat Roman Reigns in Australia, by the way. Big dub there. And been aligned with the vision. You can say what you want about the vision, but he's on our television. And he still does the tsunami every single time. I think he's a threat. All he has to do is climb to that top rope and automatically think he's a threat. So for me, I think he can squash people. I think he can have a good match. I think when I look at him, I think of him as a big old slab of meat who
Here's
gets first and third. First and third.
So you put him first and third. So that would mean he's the bread and Oba's the meat of the sandwich. So I digress. I win. Meat match of the meats. We have one more category, Michael. Just
you are drunk. You are fucking drunk.
Jobber of the Year: Akira Tozawa, J.D. McDonough, Max Caster, Roxanne Perez.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the most important award of the year, Jobber of the Year. It's our namesake, for crying out loud. We are the jobbers, and we absolutely love when people get to job out and show what they can do, punch in and punch out. There's a lot going on here, JC. We have some perennials. We've got some newcomers. We've got some people I can't believe are actually on this list, but when you probably make a case for it, I'll understand.
Oh, you want me to make some cases? Well,
yes, I
was on this list every year because he's like the biggest jobber they have. JD McDonough, guy loves looking up at the lights, always puts on banner matches. It's the epitome of a jobber, which is coincidentally why his counterpart, his female version in the Judgment Day, my girl, the best women's wrestler in the world, Roxanne Perez, is on this. She did a lot of losing this year in 2025 Nestlemania, but that's because she's just so fucking good. It's going to turn for her. She's going to win all the titles. She's going to be all the studs. She's going to be female superstar of the year, best champion in the future. But not 2025. She's nominated for Jobber of the Year. And the last one, Max Caster. Do you remember what this motherfucker did most of the year? He'd come out here and he'd do an open challenge and he'd get his fucking ass kicked. So guess what? That's a jobber if I've ever heard one.
You've made a good case for all of them. However,
I didn't really have a good case for Tozawa, except for that he's on this.
Why would
year.
you say that? Shut the fuck up. Just
because
shut up.
I am honest, JC.
You are drunk. Are you going to finish that entire thing even when we're done recording?
Yeah. And hopefully I don't go to the bar because I have a dentist appointment in the morning and I have to go to work.
Don't do that to yourself.
But
listen, Akira Tozawa, thanks for coming. Obviously got squashed by Rusev. I can remember that off the top of my head very much, but that's pretty much all I can think of right now. You are right about Roxanne Perez, but I don't think she's a perennial jobber. And honestly, I just think that it was a gross misuse of the person. So I'm not going to even account that. I'm going to look at two people that are either enhancing other people or, just doing other things. Max Caster did what he could with that whole best rapper alive thing, but it didn't really work out in my opinion. I'm giving my Jobber of the Year to the man who makes everything and everyone look exquisite. That is one J.D. McDonough. His big freaking head is massive for a reason because he can put other people over. That thing is enormous. He's got skills. He can make all the finishes look great. Be careful. Be careful, though, because you could be back here next year and the year after that and the year after that because you're so damn good at making other people look good. Maybe it's time for you to make yourself look good. JD McDonough gets my golden knocker.
What does everybody want?
Me?
What does everybody need?
Me?
No. Head. And JD McDonough has a big one. It's down to him and Roxanne for me. Two studs, but I'm giving it to JD too. I mean, like you said, this guy could be on there every year, but you know what, Nestlemania? That means he's gainfully employed. And I love JD McDonough. He's one of my guys. CM Punk keeps shutting him out, so maybe he'll get a title shot when he comes back from injury. But the guy's so good, he got injured again. But he's a stud. I love JD. He deserves this award. This could become the JD McDonough Award for the foreseeable future, but it's very well deserved. He is an absolute stud, a certified G. And I love you, JD. You're the man. You win my golden knocker. So you're getting a set, bro.
Wow. We end on a set of golden knockers. That's the way we like it on this program. So I guess that's pretty much it. The knockers.
Baby, I like it. The way you knocker me down.
This is it. This has been the 2025 knockers. I want to give a special shout out to our boys TJ and JC, the TJC as we call them. They're basically just whittling down this whole thing throughout the entire year. And then your old buddy Nessie comes in and swipes it all out and says what we're doing. Because I'm an asshole.
Nessie.
Yes, that actually a nickname that they used to call me, Nessie.
I know, but you calling yourself that's funny.
Well, they also called me white chocolate, but I don't like that one.
No one calls you that.
No, people have called me that. So I don't want that nickname. So please don't give it to me. Anyway, thank you to TJ and JC for being doing the yeoman's work here and compiling this list. Obviously, thank you to everybody that's watching and listening to the Jobber Knocker podcast. Of course, I wouldn't be here without JC. And hopefully next year, we're going to have a lot more fun. And hopefully wrestling gets a lot more fun as long as you're with JC and Nestlemania as part of all of this Jobber Knockery.